Hello, welcome to Hope Alive Talk series where we discuss topics that impact family relationships. Today we're going to talk about parenting styles. Number one is authoritarian, the other one is permissive, disengaged, and the authoritative. And I'm going to explain a little bit of each one, and we will discuss how they impact us as children and when we become adults. Hello, welcome to Hope Alive Talk series where we discuss topics that impact family relationships. Today we're going to talk about a very important topic, which is parenting styles and how they impact us, how they impact our children, and we're going to give different examples from our own experiences, and we're going to talk to each one of you on how you are experiencing your parenting styles or you experienced your own parenting style. And because we're Christians, we're going to be praying for all of our viewers on their own experiences of parenting woundings. With me to do all that are my husband, Yinka Marcus. Welcome.
Thank you. Welcome.
And our one and only Sam Babatunde. Welcome.
Nice to meet you guys, and welcome again.
And my very good friend, Kofu Babatunde. Welcome.
Good to be here again. Thank you.
Okay, so we're not going to waste too much time because we have a lot to cover in about half an hour, and I hope that you will stay tuned with us. It's going to be real fun and impacting. All right, so what are parenting styles? They are the ways in which we parent, period. And the way we parent also has a lot to do with the way we were parented. So we want to go straight to it, and all the parenting styles that we have identified are 4 of them, although they say there are 5 now or 6, whatever, but we want to talk about 4. Number 1 is authoritarian, the other one is permissive, disengaged, and the authoritative. And I'm going to explain a little bit of each one, and we will discuss how they impact us as children and when we become adults. So authoritarian is the first one. And it is the strict, very severely strict, rigid rules, no flexibility, no compromise, high expectations and demands. And this is where we say somebody is a disciplinarian. Okay? So with that, how does it affect children? I will go to, anyone wants to start? How would this affect children in any way?
I think I'll start.
Okay.
When it's so authoritarian, the children are like almost told what to do all the time, and they can't even afford to make mistakes. They just have to be right. If you're not right, then you're almost dead. Yeah. I would say it makes children anxious. They're anxious because they don't know what to do. They're confused. They can even be insecure. So they may make decisions to do something. They don't think it's right. They go to another one because they're not even sure, because the discipline is so strict and so high-handed. I think that's one way it makes children free. At least I know.
Yeah.
For me.
Yeah. So there's anxiety and there is insecure issues with the children. Okay. Thanks. Any more?
I think in a situation like that, it appears as if everybody's working on eggshells around the parents. They are not they're not sure of what to do or what not to do, and how severely they will be met if they do anything, and it makes them really not know who they really are, because they're just trying to do what other people tell them, you know, and it makes children not take what I would call normal risks in their lives. They just have to obey, you know. So
it's all about obedience and not learning how to take risks.
But the funny thing is that because parents are the heroes of their children, and then they tend to repeat the same thing in their own lives too.
Right? Yeah.
All right. I'll add a bit if I can, and that is that I think it easily puts children in a non-receptive or non-communicative mode. In other words, I'm not going to be heard. And once you're not heard, the likelihood is that you're also not going to be loved. So you find that if you are adopting this kind of authoritarian attitude, the fact that your children, or even including your wife, anybody around you in the house may appear obedient to the core or silent does not mean that they're enjoying the joke. And does not mean that they will be willing to communicate in your presence. You just go, that's one time that silence is not golden, because you don't even know what is really happening in their hearts. And really they can begin to hate you, and you will think that because you don't show any love, they don't feel loved, everything just becomes plasticky, mechanical, and complacent.
Yeah, and they will be avoidant.
Yep.
You know, they can develop avoidant attachment style, which is like, I'm going to avoid people, I'm going to avoid talking, I'm going to avoid conflicts, I'm going to avoid anything. And before you know it, they're just withdrawn and they don't know what to do.
Yeah.
What about as adults? When these children now grow up to become adults, how does this style affect them as adults?
I can kick this off by saying, like father, like son. Not automatically, but most likely a default position. Right. That's how I grew up. That's how I knew it best. So that's how I'm going to be. Then you find them also now becoming avoidant, detached, not loved. He hasn't felt loved. He or she as a child. So how can he love others? If you just say that is a norm. So take it as I've taken it, which is not a very good attitude. And that dissipates completely love around the whole house. There's no love really. And that's dangerous and for a carry on. However, as the saying goes, it's not what happens to you that matters, but your response or reaction to it. So I will be expecting that as adults, you still have some choices.
Right.
Should you just imbibe what you came up with, or should you make a change?
But you said something that was important. It becomes a default position. Right?
Naturally.
And that becomes the problem, because then, now that the child is in a place of authority, then it appears as if it's narcissistic. That you just have to do it my way, and he probably would not listen to those around him too.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
And the corollary to that could be that they can be prone to depression because they don't even know, they can't measure their emotions, they can't make decisions, they're not assertive, and you find out that if you're like that, there's dissatisfaction, there's guilt that they may carry as well. And so they can be prone to depression, I would say. They will be feeling low about themselves. Yeah, so I think that's the kind of adults that can come out of an authoritarian discipline mode.
Right, yeah. And this, being assertive too will be difficult for them. Like if when they grow up and they're friends with others and the friends say, okay, where do you want to go for dinner? Oh, where do you want to go? And they can't be assertive. When they're being offended by their friends, they may not even share or say anything because they have put themselves in that place where, okay, I better avoid conflict. So let me not be assertive. Oh, you hurt me. They can't even say that. Or I'm offended by what you did. They can't say that. They'll just keep it to themselves. And that, from what you're saying about depression, it could be depressive when you're not able to express yourself the way you need to. Yeah.
You're not able to be yourself, right? You know, so you're living other people's lives, basically, instead of living your own life.
Right.
You know.
Should we say low self-esteem? They begin to
Yes.
express that, manifest low self-esteem.
That's right.
They don't feel up to, up to it.
And being authoritarian can also swing from being low self-esteem, depressive or withdrawn, to also flip to the other side of becoming authoritarian, indeed dictatorial. And you just dropped the word that was in my mouth earlier on, that is narcissistic tendency.
Yeah.
Whereby you just feel like, well, you know what, since nobody is in control here but me, let me show them who I am.
Yeah.
And before you know it, you might become seriously narcissistic.
Yes.
Somebody has tried to say there are 6 types of narcissism, ranging from the extreme one that is almost fully authoritarian,
Right.
down to the one that may appear like as if they are simple, not hurtful, but
Yeah.
inside they are really
Comes
controlling.
very subtle.
Very subtle, subtly.
And when they try to be assertive, it comes out as aggression rather than being assertive.
Right.
Yeah. Or they're aggressive about their assertions, right? Because they
Yes,
know
yes.
they're not assertive, so they have to come up with aggression to get the other person to, to kind of
Do what
manipulate, to do
yes.
what they want. Yeah.
That's right. Yeah. Okay, so all these things that we're talking about, maybe it may not have been because of authoritarian style of their parents. Could be something else that may be going on, but the research has shown that these are the results or the outcomes of this kind of style. Because one of the things that happens with the outcome of authoritarian style is somebody who is very oversensitive, always sensitive to everything that people say or do or whatever, and so they could be for any other reason, but yeah, this is another outcome for it. Okay, let's quickly go to the next one, which is permissive style. That's where the child lacks discipline. The parents overindulge and they lack discipline, like I said. They probably have no expectation from the child. If the child wants to do this, they just let them. And they're always bargaining and trying to negotiate. There's nothing wrong with that. But it's just that we need to have boundaries about negotiating or learn how to really do it well. But there's this always negotiating and bargaining with the child rather than telling them to do things that are right for them. So let's go to a child that is experiencing or that experienced permissive parenting style. How will they be?
I would say that a child that is a child that's left to himself or herself, children, they come with a blank mind. There's nothing in there except maybe the little deposit that they are going to attract, that use to attract whatever they want to learn. So it's the adults in their lives that will help to shape on that child. So you find out that a child that is permitted to do anything can, will be given too much control over what that child is doing. That child becomes demanding. It's like whatever I do, and I see it in little children, because the training or the discipline starts from even when they're babies, because the baby just finishes eating, maybe from about 6 months when they can actually move their hands, and they just throw the things out, finish eating and throw the thing, it looks like it's a child. It's okay, and we permit that child to do that. And the child now, so if the child is not allowed to do that, it's like he's demanding, it's my rights. They become selfish, they don't care about people because anything goes. Yeah, but we can, gently steer a child to the right thing to do. Oh, that's not good enough, and all that. So, yes, I would say that.
Yeah, okay. I think as parents are supposed to form the conscience of their children, and if it's left to do whatever, it gets up to be the primitive instincts in human beings, right? You just do whatever.
Yeah,
and in
Animalistic.
social situations, they just wreck the whole thing because there's no boundary, right? They don't know the holy from the unholy. They just do whatever.
Wow.
A child left to him or herself without control. That's like a loose cannon that can just easily work themselves into wreck.
Right.
Whether spiritual, physical, emotional, or whatever. They become so spoiled. It's often a first child syndrome or single child syndrome where sometimes some parents may just become overly protective and caring for them, and therefore
Or not
making them look
experienced.
like, please don't touch him or her. He's the only one, he or she is the only one I had, the only child. You make the person look like a royal fall from heaven. So anything he or she just wants, he just gets, and that's a loose cannon. It can become a complete wreck to themselves.
Right. Yeah.
So demanding, they're not able to work in a team. Just mine, me, mine, and I.
Myself, yes. Me, myself, and I. Yeah, it can happen. They're very also manipulative because they know that they will get their way.
Exactly.
So they do all the tantrums, and they've learned how to do tantrums.
Absolutely.
And they just keep doing it because they get their way all the time. And so sometimes they become really angry children because when they don't get their way, they just keep going until you give them. So they become really angry
Absolutely.
as children.
And in a permissive situation, really, and the child always eventually wins, right? Because no matter how argument the parent does, if it's permissive, it just kind of falls to the child. Give it. And the child
Give it.
Gets away with it.
And that's not helping the child.
No.
No.
It's not helping the child to,
No, the
like you
parents.
said, working well in a team. Even as children, when they're in school, they can't. They just want, that's mine, that's mine, that's mine.
Mine.
Generally, kids are like that, but we need to steer them, like you said, to the better way.
Direction.
Yeah. What about as adults? Now they're children, now they are
Grown up.
adults. What could they have learned and carried on?
They can become really boisterous if they don't have their way, because it's not the way of the way of life. When you think everything is just all around you, it's all about you. So it's going to be a big problem when they get older. Such children will they are not able to take responsibility, for the things they do. They lack discipline. As an adult, you just find out that they just find it difficult to, work with rules, or regulations. It's impossible because they've been used to that permissiveness. They've grown with it. They've become selfish with it. So, they become self-centered, even selfish.
Yeah.
It's just about me. They don't see with they don't have the lenses to see, through the lenses of others, except through their own lenses. And that won't work well in the society as an adult.
Right.
So there will always be conflict. They will always be at conflict with people. Yeah, that's dangerous.
It appears as if they remain on the level 1 of happiness. It's just what I get, what satisfies me. They can't.
I like that.
They can't postpone. They can't postpone gratification,
Or expectations.
and it's difficult for them to even be grateful in their current situation because they always want the next thing, right?
Yeah.
And it may be
For themselves.
and it may be anything that makes me happy, and if they need to drug addictions and stuff like that.
Where they don't get that happiness.
Yeah.
It can lead to all kinds of abuses, depression, just feeling bad about themselves, about the environment.
And they can be really, of course, immature in their thinking.
They don't grow up.
Yeah, they don't.
Don't grow up.
Wow.
And they're very entitled. Like you were saying, they want their own. What makes me happy right now is what I want. And then they have this sense of entitlement.
Absolutely.
That everybody should do
Dance to
things
their
for
tunes.
them. And it's their
Walk
way
around
or
them.
the highway. And sometimes, too, they tend to blame everybody for everything that happens to them, and even if they caused it for themselves, they will still find someone to blame.
Yeah.
And,
Yeah.
and in relationships, it's kind of very difficult still because of when they're away. You know, there's no point. My wife has a headache, for example, right? Just because they want something, they just go ahead and do it anyway.
Yeah, they just want it
It
now.
puts them a lot of insensitivity to the environment,
Yes.
or
Yeah.
to others.
And to others. Yeah.
Selfishness.
Yeah. All right, so let's go to the next one. It's getting more interesting, okay? So this one is the disengaged, or what we call dismissive. So if you are experiencing this kind of style, or you did in your life, the description of that is that there's an absence. A parent is absent or uninvolved in the child's life. Absent for any reason, because we're talking about the child now, not about the person, the parent who is absent, right? And so they're experiencing that. The parent's not doing anything with the child or for the child. You just leave the child to play by themselves and not play with them, or take them somewhere where they can all play together or do things together. There's an overly rejection issue, and maybe there's some substance abuse there, or maybe the parent is abusing some substance, and so they don't have time for the child, and they're so absorbed in their own needs. It's like, whatever it is, my need is more important than this child's need. So a child that experiences that, or that experienced that, would be what?
Abandoned,
Feeling abandonment, yes.
dejected.
Mm-hmm.
That's right.
I think it's a major swing between the opposite of what they call it, the authoritarian. I start wondering which one is even worse now, between authoritarian and permissive.
dismissive, yeah.
Dismissive.
This one has, the other one has parents present, but in a very terribly too strong a position. This one has a complete absence of parenthood or parent presence, and so kind of like marooned, clueless as to which way to turn. So they are easily exposed to all kinds of abuses because they feel abandoned. They feel very low self-esteem.
Yeah.
Can't really enjoy teamwork because nobody's developing them. It's like an undeveloped child. God
Right.
forbid.
You said it's
terrible
like
something.
authoritarian, also like permissive, right? Because there's no control.
That's what I'm saying.
The child just goes do whatever, you know. But we should be a bit sensitive to the fact that some parents, well, the reasons why parents may be absent, right? Some people are just absent because they're absent.
But this is a case of trying to get the feelings of the child.
Yeah.
How
Yes,
does the
yes.
child
Yes.
feel
Yes, okay.
in this environment? We're not castigating any parent for.
Exactly.
Some
Yeah.
parents have genuine cause. For example, if you are running the show all alone like a single parent, or you are in a difficult environment, either weather-wise or some other kind of wise, and that is your best you can offer. That child is just in a very difficult
Yeah.
situation. Very unfortunate.
Or if you're walking outside of the house, like you're away three months in a year, or more than that, or you're walking away from home, and children are left with with one parent, then that also is a disengaged,
Yes.
because you are absent, although for good reason, but the child doesn't know that. Right?
Absolutely.
So the child feels unnoticed, as if unwanted, or wondering that why did you bring me into the world if I'm not needed? I don't seem to
Matter.
count. I
Yes.
don't seem to matter to you. So that's
Yeah.
how the child will feel. Yeah.
Yeah. So they will think that their very existence is disruptive to the parent, because they are existing, but they're seeing the parent like, they don't want me, so I'm disrupting their lives. I'm not letting them be, or I'm needy.
I'm a pain in the neck.
Yes,
It's
exactly.
a burden there.
Yeah,
burden,
yeah,
a burden,
to
yeah.
it. Okay, so as adults,
Does that translate to distant relationship? Because when you're not there or you didn't experience somebody being around you, likelihood is when you become an adult, you don't possibly see also a difference in cutting somebody from distance and thinking that you are in the same boat when you're actually operating in
Yeah,
parallel or
that's
heading different
exactly.
direction, opposite
Okay.
direction.
Yeah.
So that could be destructive. You don't have you don't feel the worth of the other person around you.
right.
And
No,
you
so
want,
such-
you want to be always alone, right? You don't understand.
Yeah. Yeah.
You grew up in that
Sure.
nature and the environment.
Some of them may feel, as you grow older in adulthood, that you don't need anyone. Because after all, growing up, you didn't have anyone.
Yeah.
Kind of. So that makes it look as if they're unfriendly. They can't, form relationships or build a relationship because they just want to. They're comfortable in themselves.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, you need that extension to, relate with other people. Yeah.
So what we're saying, it's not like we're pointing fingers at parents, like we are all parents, so
And
we
we
did
had
our
parents.
own part and we have our own flaws and stuff like that, and we're not saying it as perfect parents, but we know, like our brother here said, that especially as single parents, you try your best. Sometimes you will look like you're permissive, you just do whatever because I'm tired, or you're disengaged because you're so worn out and all that. And also even with parents who work together, it still can happen that the child may feel all these things. So it's not a pointing finger today, we're just talking about how does the child feel. The child's feelings are very important. The emotions that happen with the child are very important. So we're going to go to the last one, which is
Very quickly.
the one that is very the highly effective, which we want everyone to learn. And I'm just going to say it quickly because we want to also talk more about things. The authoritative is where there's firm discipline, but then out of love and nurture, everything is explained, well-explained rules, not rules that are just vague and you change rules on the child every minute. There's warmth and there's healthy affection where you can hold your child, you can hug your child for as long as they need it. And then there's also the willingness to listen to the child. This is the most important thing. We don't have time in this day and age, like as parents, to sit down and just listen. But it's very effective when we do that. And always open conversations, always convey message of love. And this is the authoritative style of parenting. So when, as a child, the child may feel really cooperated, like they feel like there's a cooperation between the two, the parents and the child, and they even become more independent, and they have self-control, and they're able to be successful with friendships because they know that they will listen, or they themselves will also be good listeners in most ways. So when they are adults, what do you think will happen with them when they're adults?
I think one good summary out of what you just said, when this kind of children become adults, is that they get a complete rounded development called work, life, emotion, family, everything just balanced. Because there have been checks and balances, controls all along the way. So they are likely to produce that kind of a work life and family emotional balance for every situation and circumstance, which presents this style as almost the ultimate.
Yeah, and they'll be communicative with their partners.
Absolutely.
They will listen to their kids.
Good relationship.
It makes the children be more matured, actually, and they can be less selfish.
They can become more expressive and they are vulnerable. Yeah, because they've learned to be listened to and they've learned to listen themselves. So they can be transparent. They are transparent. They can be and they are able to seek help when they need one, because they know that they'll be heard, they'll be listened to.
Yes. Yes, and they are the ones that will seek help with a therapist. They're the ones that are coming
with a positive attitude.
Yes, knowing that they're going to learn
Get
and they're going to get something
balance.
from it. And they will be really willing to listen to others' opinion about things, about life and stuff. And so they're not just in a world of their own thinking, okay, I know it all, I can do it all, I don't need anyone. And so they're very life, family balanced and emotional balanced too. And do we have people like that?
Absolutely.
For sure we do. And I know that you are like that too. Okay. But, you know,
Or we can also become, all become like that.
Like that.
So it's not what happened to you that matter, but your reaction. So if you taste and love what you hear so much about this person, then you should know which path to drift.
Yes,
or to
yeah.
drive.
Okay, having said all that, we know that there are many, many people watching us who have experienced all the three parenting styles that we had mentioned, and we just want to speak blessing over you as Christians. And if you're not a Christian, you can still receive, or you can pray your own prayer the way you know how, to have God release you from any pain or hurt that you experienced as a child. And if you notice anything in you today from what we have mentioned as an adult, please seek help to help with with overcoming those kinds of issues that you may be experiencing, because it's really good to become a better version of yourself. And like it said, it's not what really happens to you, it's your reaction to what happened and your responses. So now we have talked about as adults, this could happen to you, and if it's happening, then please seek help, and we're going to speak over you right now. So each one of us will say something, a blessing, a prayer, whatever you want to say to our viewers right now. Who wants to start?
Okay, let me start. Yeah, I just want to speak to, I don't know if you are a parent or a child. Let me start with a child. I speak to a child that feels that I'm non-existent. Maybe I don't even think I'm needed because of the parenting style, maybe the dismissive, method of disciplining, of training a child. I pray that the Lord will help you to come to a point where you're able to forgive your parents, whether you are an adult or a child, to forgive them, and just know that they didn't know better. But that now that you have understanding, maybe from what we've said in this episode, I pray that you will rise up and let God comfort you and encourage you in the name of Jesus. And I pray that you become a better person, a better part of yourself. In Jesus' name.
Amen. Okay, let's have one more because of time.
Okay.
And let's swing to those who think they are already well-rounded and established.
Wow.
Let him that thinketh he stands take heed lest he falls. So even though you might have risen out of a very well-balanced home and family, they use one hand to beat you, use the second hand to draw you near. Take heed as you grow along. Remain a very good model, checkmating yourself from time to time. Be a very good example to others around you and coming behind in Jesus' name.
Anything? Okay.
Well, I just want to say that that for all those who have experienced this, to always remember that they are made in the image and likeness of God, and that they are individuals, and they are not. They're very individual. Everybody's different, and they should try by grace to improve their positive attributes, and for the things that they know themselves are not so good, to try to improve that too.
Okay, thank you so much. I'm going to round it up by blessing our own children. 4 of us here, we speak to you, each one of you, you know yourselves. Our children and their spouses and our grandchildren, you know yourselves. If ever you experienced any of this in us, I know that authoritarian style was a lot going on in our parenting. We ask for your forgiveness. We ask that you forgive us, you let it go, and let there be peace in your hearts towards yourself and towards us and towards the people around you. And I say thank you for your forgiveness. Thank you for letting go. Thank you for letting yourself live in peace with your own family. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. We say thank you to all of you viewers who are watching right now. If you want to continue to release yourself from this, find help, find a counselor, find a therapist that can help you, and watch this over and over again and try to be the best version of yourself. We love you. Take care, and we'll see you again. Bye for now. Bye.
Bye.